guys, I'm Devin Pelton from Antigua. I'm here today at one of our important dealer partners, Alamo Music, here in San Antonio, where Antigua's from. And we're going to talk today about your brand new trumpet that you just rented or purchased. So you've brought the trumpet home, you're excited, you want to get it out, you want to play with it. Now, it's very important that we do stuff in the right order because these instruments can get damaged and we don't want to mess up the investment your parents just made for your musical training. Every instrument that you get is going to have a label or a name or a badge or something on the top of the case. It's important that we don't open a case up upside down because stuff will rattle around and we can damage it. So always make sure that up is up, okay? That's the first thing. We want to make sure that it's up. Latches are going to be all different kinds of latches out there. There's going to be stuff that slides, there's going to be stuff that clips, there's going to be things that move up and down, but a real common draw bolt latch like this is always going to pick up and then the latch part is going to fall down. Again, just making sure that we're got the right side up. So we open up, we got our bright, shiny new trumpet. This is made of brass. It's a brass instrument. It's made of brass. That's a metal. It can get a dent in it. We don't want to get a bunch of dents in our instruments, so we're going to be very careful. You notice I'm on a table here? We want to do this on a table or the floor, or maybe your bed, wherever you are, but make sure that we have a good surface to open this stuff up because we don't want things to fall to the floor. When you open up your new instrument, you're going to see things like packing things, and it says right on here, do not eat. So let's throw that away. We've got things like our checklists and cloths, and some instruments, some manufacturers are going to put in an owner's manual. I know you're not going to read that, but eventually you will because you'll want to know how to maintain the instrument. With your trumpet, let's go here. Let's open that up. Let's set that aside, all right? Because that's not going to make the sounds that we want to make. We got to start with something that's called a mouthpiece. The mouthpiece is what starts the vibration. It's what makes the trumpet work. This one's brand new, so we open it up and you're going to feel that it's really kind of heavy. Well, what that does is that's going to take the vibration. We know that all sounds are vibrations, right? We got to get a vibration from this into this. And you learned at school where the vibration comes from, and it comes from your lip on all brass instruments. Kind of like if you ever taken a balloon and blown it up and made it go wee, you can tighten and loosen your lips to make different sounds. Everyone try that with me. The best way, the easiest way to make that buzz, think of you're at the picnic table and your little brother's sitting across the table from you and you want to hit him in the face with a watermelon seed, right? So you go and you shoot that seed across. I want you to kind of vision that as you're getting ready to make your first buzz. And if I just keep blowing lots of watermelon seeds, I get a buzz. If I make it looser or tighter, then I change the sound of that buzz. All I do is I put that buzz through this mouthpiece. So now we're working. Things are going good. If I tighten and loosen my buzz, now I've done it a lot, so I can go really tight and really loose. But what I'd like you to try to do right now is just to get a nice, solid, constant sound on that mouthpiece. And see how long you can hold it. Try to keep it real steady. We don't want it to go. Try to keep it nice and steady. And you know what? Until band starts, that's a great place to start. That's something that you can practice and you can get really good at. And so when you go to your band class, your first band class, your band director is going to ask you to buzz on your mouthpiece, and you're going to be one of the ones that's rocking it. So that's the trumpet mouthpiece. That's what we buzz into. Now, let's make some noise so the rest of the house can hear us, okay? Here is what we do with this. Carefully set it down. Remember, on a table, something like that. We don't want it to roll off and fall on the floor. I'm going to put this on the floor because I'm done with my case now and get it out of the way so we can come in and look at the rest of the trumpet. Sometimes your new instrument is going to have a bag on it. Sometimes the music store is going to already have taken that bag off. But what we want to do is get to the real thing. So I'm going to be real careful that I don't drop anything. I'm going to take that bag off and I'm going to throw it over there with that packing stuff that I didn't need right off the bed. Pick that up when we're done, all right? Okay. The trumpet. There's nothing I can do with this thing that's going to make it work until I put the mouthpiece with it. So let me show you how we put the mouthpiece on it. Mouthpiece, trumpet, mouthpiece receiver, takes the mouthpiece. So we put it in, straight in, and we put it just a gentle pushing twist. Okay, that's it. Don't ever pop it on or cram it on you're on a gentle twisting push, and to take it out, we do the opposite, a gentle twisting push, a pull. So when that's in there, it's nice and tight, it's snug, it's all together, right? So now we're ready to get their attention around the house, okay? So I'm gonna get that buzz. My first note, it was a C. Cool. That's all it takes to make an instrument make sound on your trumpet. You just played your first note. Great job. Congratulate yourself, high five yourself. That's a great start. Now, if I change my buzz like I was doing with the mouthpiece, tighter and looser, check this out. If I do that same kind of tighten and loosening on this instrument, those are called bugle calls because that's all done with just our face. How cool is that? We play all kinds of different notes, and we'll play more as we get better. But for right now, let's just get one good one. I'm thinking about the watermelon seed, my little brother. That's awesome. That is basically, you've got to start, okay? Now, I know you want to know what these things are and what they do, and we want to use everything on our new toy. Well, these are called valves. V-A-L-V-E-S, valves. And that's what plays all those notes in between the ones that we just played by tightening and loosening our lip. We push those down, and it makes our pipe longer or shorter, and it plays all the notes in between. So by pushing different buttons, valves, up and down, this is number 1, 2, and 3. And when we get our book, I mean, when you open the book, you're going to see that there's numbers on the page, so you can know if you push down button number 1 that it's going to play that note, depending on how tight or loose you are. And that's stuff that we're going to learn eventually, but for right now, let's do this. Let's get our buzz going. One finger. Oh, I didn't show you how to hold it, did I? Look how I wrapped my hand around this valve cluster, okay? I took my hand and I wrapped it around, and I'm holding it solid like that. If you look on the other side, I've got a saddle here on this Fosse trumpet that allows me to move that in and out, and I've got my ring finger in, this is called a third valve ring, and that's what lets me to move the third valve slide. That stuff we'll use later, but for right now, we just kind of wrap our hand around it. And if you wonder about that, if you're not real comfortable with that, if you were to grab a milkshake and you wrapped your hand around it, that's all it is. Just think of grabbing a milkshake. There's your milkshake, okay? That's how we hold the instrument. All right, back to playing. Let's play a note, and let's push this down. We've played 2 notes. That's right, we're doing real well. I know you want to rock out, you want to play a bunch of notes, and you want to play all these, and you know what? It's fine now, you can. It doesn't matter which one you push. You can't do anything wrong, right? You're just starting. You're not expected to know anything else. There's all kinds of stuff we can do. So let's play around with that, but most importantly, remember, it all starts with a good right? Practice that, get good at that. Get good at that buzz. Be able to hold that note out for a long time. And then when band class actually starts, we'll be ready for that. If there's a problem with your valves going up and down, I want to show you real close something that we can do to fix that. Now, sometimes when we open our new trumpet, the valves are real sluggish. They're real slow. You push down on it and it's like, and it comes up really slow. That's because that when new trumpets are shipped to the store where you got it, they don't have oil on them. And oil is what's going to make it so it works good. So let me show you how to oil the valves, because this is something that you're going to do many times through your career. It's really easy, but there's a couple things that I want you to watch for. Only take one valve out at a time. And we're not even going to take it out. We're going to loosen the top. And when I say top, I don't mean this button here. I mean the thing that's right down on the, what's called a casing, okay? We're going to loosen that, and that's going to let us pull this valve out. Now, that valve comes all the way out. You see how close I am to my table? How close you are to your bed, to the floor? Man, if I drop this valve, it can make a big problem, because this goes into the casing, and it's really, really tight. And so any little dent is going to mess it up. So I don't like to take them out. You don't have to take them all the way out. But what I'd like you to do instead is just pull it out to where you can see the fat part of the valve, okay? That's the part that we're gonna oil. And then we just get a little bit of the oil that you got from the music store, and I touch it right on there, and I just put like 2 or 3 drops, not much. Then I go straight back in, and I kind of wiggle this. You'll see that if you turn that a little bit, it doesn't work, because now I try to blow through it and the air can't go through it and the eyeballs fly out of my head. So it's important that we get it in the right place. So you put it in, and when you turn it, you'll feel it click. You'll hear it click into its spot. All right, so I know that it's in the right place, and then I tighten it back up. And now, ooh, big difference. So now my valve works. It's got oil that's lubricating it so it can go up and down. So that's how we oil the valves. Eventually, someday, sometime, you might have a problem of this mouthpiece. Remember how I showed you how to twist it in and twist it out with a gentle twisting action? If it gets stuck, something bumps it or whatever, and it gets stuck, don't let your dad fix it. You cannot take pliers to this thing and pull that out. The music store has a special tool that separates the mouthpiece from this. Is called the lead pipe. Don't take pliers to it. Don't take vice grip. Don't do anything, okay? If you can't twist that mouthpiece out and get it out, that's a very minor repair. It happens, but don't try to fix it yourself. Other than that, all you gotta do is you gotta be careful not to bang it on stuff, because it will dent. Remember I said it's made out of metal. And you're ready to go. Now, I don't want you to do a lot of fancy stuff. We're just gonna work on that one long note, right? And see how long you can make that last. Watch the clock and see how long you can make that last. You're ready for your first lesson. When you take your new Voci trumpet into the first lesson and show the band director that you can hold that note for a long time because you're buzzing your lip nice and constant, he or she's going to be real happy with you. Now, keep practicing. Thanks for your time. So long.